you asked me, like, what do you get excited about? And I was like, yoga philosophy. Like, I always come back to it. Like, the last like course that I took was on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which I've taken many courses on.
Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. What is that? Are these Patanjali's Yoga Sutras?
Those are
Fill for you.
In the yoga. I can't tell you without looking at the text or, Googling it. Like, I want to say those are in the second chapter, but I'm not sure. But that's in the text.
Is that like the Bible for yoga? Is that?
I mean, you could call it like
I should stop doing that. I want to make everything a Western comparable. Like, is this what we have over here?
I don't really know the Bible, but I mean,
But is it a book?
From what I know of the Bible, it's stories, right? Yeah. This is not stories.
It's not.
No.
It's very like
Sutra
instructional.
means thread.
Thread. Sutra.
Sutra. Yeah. So it's like aphorisms that are sort of threaded together to guide you through the yoga practice.
And Patanjali's, what is Patanjali's?
Patanjali is the author.
Okay, this is a person.
But maybe not.
Maybe a collection of people.
Or like some people say he was like some sort of like, I don't remember the mythology behind it, but some sort of like creature. I don't really know. Nobody knows exactly who Patanjali was. It could have been a person. There is like an iconography of what he looked like.
A creature. Why do I think of reptiles? When someone says creature, I think like he was like a dragon.
More of like a person type creature.
Oh yeah, person creature. Okay, yeah, he was a. But when you say creature, maybe like there's a spiritual aspect of him as opposed to a human. He was like a.
Sure. Yeah, like an extraordinary type of being.
Yeah. Patanjali.
I mean, we can't know. It's like who wrote the Bible? I mean, no one, right? These are stories that were passed on. It's the same sort of thing, because
this all happened when they weren't writing books.
Right, exactly.
So they passed a bunch of stories down to people that passed a bunch of stories down. You remember playing telephone when we were kids?
Absolutely.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I played it recently.
You did?
Yeah.
Who knows what these stories are like at the beginning?
Right.
Okay. 8 limbs. If I wanted to get more familiar with the philosophy of yoga, what would you recommend? Like, how would I go about doing it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think like, this isn't like the study of these kinds of texts isn't something that people used to do, right? It's like people in like Indian communities wouldn't like sit around and talk about this kind of stuff necessarily. It was like a very specific kind of inquiry or I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. Try to answer your question.
Is it stuff they do in monasteries, or I don't know that.
Well, there are like an ashram. Yeah. Maybe. I did live in an ashram briefly, but I have like a pretty limited experience of what that might be. We did study a text though.
You did?
Yeah.
And it was this stuff?
It wasn't that one.
No, it
was the Samkhya-Karika, which is, I think, a non-dual perspective. This is more of a dual perspective.
Oh yeah, because if there's external and internal, there's duality.
Right. It's the idea that you're separate from God.
Right.
And then
non-dual is we're all God.
You're already there. Yeah.
It's like we are waves on an ocean and we're just an expression of God or universal oneness.
Right.
I like that universal oneness thing. And sometimes it seems so not true, I seem so different from everybody or so confused at how we're one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are times where it does feel like some of us are so incredibly different from others, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I think the communities that I am immersed in or involved in makes it so that I'm kind of sheltered.
Mm.
You know, I don't really get outside of my communities. And then when I do, I'm always kind of shocked. You know?
These people are living this way?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my God. And then you run back to your communities,
Yeah.
your safe places.
Right.
That makes sense. You find comfort there. What other questions? So, what does success look like? How does someone successfully move through a yoga philosophy practice?
I think curiosity is really the key to that. Like to just stay curious about whatever it is that you're learning or studying. I think that's success. Like if you think you know the answer, then you don't. You know, that's not. I think the success is like to continue questioning and
just
to
continue to
stay.
learn.
Yeah.
Because I've done yoga for a long time in varying degrees of seriousness, but never really serious. I never learned these, but it seems like all these things you said, there were breadcrumbs from teachers where they would say these words and I would never go look them up. Pranayama, I've heard tons. I think all of these most of them I've heard. So it's almost like we're getting these, like I said, breadcrumbs, or these like, hey, if you want to know more, I'm saying interesting different things for you to go check out.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many resources available, whether it be, you know, virtually or through books. Any of the Yoga Sutra translations have commentary because you can't just like read the Yoga Sutra.
You can.
I mean, you can, but it's just like paradoxically, it's so much in such a small few words, but like those words are just so profound. So whoever translates the text also writes a commentary.
Like this is because we're not in the context of which they were written.
Right.
You know, so much of translation comes through cultural context and a lot of stuff, and we're divorced from a lot of that stuff. I mean, these things were written,
thousands of years ago.
Yeah. And who knows, how did people even live back then? They didn't have cell phones.
I mean, we didn't have cell phones when we were younger.
No, we didn't. They had like pagers. Oh, I had to use the one house phone with the curly.
Oh yeah.
And I would like sneak down the hallway just to get some privacy. Yes.
Use the payphone.
The payphone.
Collect call.
I remember those. Collect call. Goodness, we didn't even have those. Imagine what they didn't have back then. They didn't have lights.
Right.
Electricity. That's a whole different world they're living in.
Yeah, and that's why I say, like, I think it's important to consider the context of like a living tradition, right? You can't really practice the way that it's being recommended in some of these texts because of exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Or you can by removing yourself from society, but you're most likely not going to do that your whole life unless you're going to live in an ashram or a monastery or whatever the case may be. You know,
or you're going to go live in a cave somewhere.
Right.
People do that, or they did do that.
I definitely did.
It seems like that'd be too lonely in a cave. I wouldn't like that.
It'd be lonely, but you get to see God, right?
You get to see God.
That's the trade-off.
You get to see God. Yeah, I wonder.
But I don't think you have to go live in a cave to see God.
I'm not going to do that. I got them kids. I love them.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with them. I don't want to leave them. And I love people. It's got to be hard to remove yourself from the world and practice, devote yourself to that full time. Because that's like that removing whatever, turning away from senses. You're really doing more than that. You're like turning away from culture.
Yeah. Minimal food,
I've been doing that recently. I've been doing fasting stuff.
How's that going for you?
I normally don't eat on Mondays.
Oh, wow.
Which is today. But I thought, but since I'm working, I'm doing all these filming things, I would eat. But I might not. I do 42 hours fast from Sunday night to Tuesday around 2. It's okay.
That's impressive.
It's okay.
I love to eat.
We all love to eat, Karlie. You're not unique in that. The only thing that gets me through, or one of the things that gets me through, is whenever I'm feeling hungry or I want to eat, I'll just go research all the benefits of fasting.
Have you had a fasting expert on your show?
It's funny you would mention that. I've got a functional registered dietitian coming on Wednesday.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to talk to. But I have done a lot of research and stuff. Anyway, we digress.